Hey folks, my name is Ezekiel Cohen, and I run the Call Me Ezekiel YouTube channel, where we create high-quality videos about history, philosophy, literature, and the humanities at large. But most of you probably know me from that time I taught hundreds of thousands of you how to play Victoria 2. Now, I'm collaborating with Paradox Interactive to teach you how to play its sequel, so you can call me Ezekiel. This is how to use buildings and infrastructure in Victoria 3. Let's jump in! All economic production in Victoria 3 happens in buildings. It doesn't matter whether it's something small like mining coal out of the ground or raising livestock, or something big like building an advanced warplane at the end of an international multi-continental supply chain. It all happens in buildings. At its simplest, a building is a facility in which pops of a certain type take input goods and turn them into output goods. These goods don't have to be consumed immediately, and can instead be used to create more advanced goods. This process will naturally create supply chains. The products of these supply chains are more luxurious, economically useful, and militarily powerful than their simpler counterparts. Each building has a level which correlates to its size. The higher the level, the bigger the building, which makes it more productive and allows it to employ more pops. Buildings also benefit from economies of scale, so a single size 2 building will be more productive than 2 size 1s. Usually you upgrade the size of buildings manually, but you can set them to automatically upgrade when they're both profitable and the construction queue is empty. Buildings fall into 3.5 types: urban, rural, development, and construction. Let's start with the half, which is construction. I call it half because this is the only category with a single building in it, but it's also the most important. It's the construction center. Construction sectors are what you use to build and expand other buildings. Now, I wouldn't get too carried away with these. Building materials cost money, so just because you have the capacity to build lots of buildings doesn't mean you can afford to. Don't do something silly like build more construction sectors than you have the budget to use. Next are development buildings. This includes military buildings which raise and equip your armies, and infrastructure like ports and railroads. Ports increase infrastructure and produce convoys, while railroads increase infrastructure and produce transportation. Next are rural buildings. These tend to produce more basic goods: food, cash crops, coal and metal, and so on. They're also limited by a state's arable land and resource potentials. This is also where you'll find subsistence farms. Pops who can't find a building to work in will automatically build and work on a subsistence farm. But you really don't want them to do that because they hardly produce anything. The only benefit to subsistence farming is that it's literally better than nothing. At the start of the game, most of the world will be living and working on subsistence farms. Finally, we have urban buildings. This is where you'll find the advanced stuff like factories, government administrations, and universities. The latter two are worth special mention because government administrations are what produce all-important bureaucracy and tax capacity, while universities are vital for researching technology. The urban section also features a very unique building called an urban center. Most buildings, just by existing, produce urbanization. For every 100 units of urbanization, you get 1 free level of urban center in that state. The types of buildings you can construct are determined by your technology. The relevant technologies are mostly in the production tab, but all technologies, including society techs, are relevant here. This is because each building has production methods which can modify their efficiency and output. From this same screen, you can modify the building's owner too. This determines who gets the building's dividends, which is a fancy way of saying its profits. There are multiple society technologies that allow you to change who owns and thus profits from a building. So that's it for your local economy. But you're not an isolationist, are you? There's a whole big world out there, and it has goods and resources unavailable in your little corner. But before you get too excited, we're not going to go over there and take those goods by force, at least not yet. First, we're going to learn how to do it consensually. So up next are markets and trade. I'll see you then.